First, a disclaimer. I am passionate about home food preservation, and I will gladly teach anyone how to do things safely. However, your kitchen, your rules. My goal is to not ever tell anyone they are wrong, but guide you to make the best choices for you and your family. Truth be told, I would want you to choose to be as safely as you can. So, to rebel or not to rebel? Why is that a good question? This is part 1, dealing with botulism and elevation. Traditions can be wonderful. They give us a look at who our ancestors were and what they found to be important. Culturally, traditions give us a broader view of where we came from and again, what things were and still are important. We learned so much from our elders if we are willing to take the time to do so. I count myself so blessed. I am the oldest child, grandchild, and great-grandchild on my mother's side. Among other factors, this led me to have an incredible opportunity to know my great-grandparents into my adulthood. My oldest was also able to spend time with her great-great-grandmother. I have some wonderful photos that I cherish greatly. I am so blessed to have had the chance to learn directly from 3 generations of incredible women. My grandmother is a wonderful seamstress. She learned from her mother. I did not. I did learn that my great-grandmother loved to play cards and dominoes. Heck, I was playing dominoes with her a week before her passing. She also cheated. She hid cards and dominoes in her moo-moo. Thankfully, that tradition didn't get passed down. My grandmother was just saying that she was concerned that all of his kids would only remember her mama as one who cheated at games. It is not true. We all have fond memories of Grandma and Grandpa Merrill, like the time we missed a turn in Las Vegas and found ourselves in California. Never mind, that is a story for another time. Despite that bringing my great-grandmother had, canning was not something she was very into. Therefore, she did not hand the knowledge down to my grandmother. My mom was the one that would be interested in canning. Our lifestyle at the time dictated that she figure it out or her children would be hungry. She would spend dark northeastern Washington winter days marveling at the gorgeous jars of cherries and huckleberries. She would carefully pry the pages of her ball blue book apart because they were stuck together with whatever she was canning. My great-grandmother and my mom had both passed from this life, but clearly they left, not only me, but our whole family with traditions and memories that have inspired us younger folk. I have learned from these women just how hard they are willing to work to take care of their families and also how to have a good time. On the other hand, traditions can show us the ugly that some cannot just let go of. This is why horrific things are still perpetuated. While it is important to keep hold of the past so that we are anchored where we feel we should be, it is far more important to think critically and adjust as we need to. Sometimes it is better to let some stories stay stories. Holding onto our heritage while embracing technological advances does not mean that we are tarnishing anything or forgetting who we are. I am sure many of us are so grateful for running water, even if we all do not have it in our homes. We still have to get water from somewhere, and driving to town to fill up barrels is a heck of a lot easier than digging down to the Coconino Aquifer. Technology and science have made that possible in our dry climate. Furthermore, I do realize how expensive pressure canners have become, especially since 2020. I know how hard it is to find lids for jars. One of the biggest things I run into when discussing food preservation, canning in particular, is the cost or fear of pressure canners. So let us discuss some reasons why we need one. First and foremost, canning is not the same as cooking. Canning is a science. Secondly, here comes the big scary word, botulism. Botulism poisoning is a very rare, but it can do a number on you should you encounter it. Botulism is known as a silent killer. It is a neurotoxin. Should you survive your encounter with it, meaning you were able to get the antitoxin in time, you will probably be intubated for a period of time, and you get to relearn how to do things like walk. You cannot smell, see, taste, or feel it. Botulism spores are found in the soil and love anaerobic environments. Anaerobic environments are moist and low in oxygen. It is the ideal condition that your canned food is residing in. In that environment, the spores can open, and even just smelling the canned item can allow the open spores to enter your body, thus causing serious illness. There is good news, though. You can kill botulism. It cannot survive in an acidic environment, nor can it survive at temperatures of 240 degrees or more. Most fruit and pickled or fermented items are acidic enough to take those baddies out. That means you can safely use a water bath canner to fill your shelves with gorgeous jars of fruit, jams, jellies, and pickles. That's great, right? We're forgetting some other pretty important foods, though. Our meat and vegetables. Botulism spores can be killed in the low acid environments that are created with these food items through the use of a pressure canner. So quiz time. What temperature does water come to a boil at sea level? 212 degrees Fahrenheit. What temperature does water boil at where we live? Our elevation can vary a good bit throughout the area, but it's closer to about 200 degrees Fahrenheit at 6,000 feet in elevation. So that means we are roughly 40 degrees Fahrenheit too cold to kill botulism with a water bath canner. We can boil our water away and never reach 240 degrees Fahrenheit. We need steam. The pressure canner allows for adequate steam to be produced and move through the food to successfully wage war on those nasty little boogers. Is your head spinning yet? Let me add one more tidbit before signing off. In addition to using the proper canner for items you are preserving, you need to adjust for your altitude. Never fear. Ball has some pretty easy to follow altitude charts for you to reference. Our higher elevation means we have less atmospheric pressure, so it's easier for molecules to move around. This means we need to extend the time on our water bath items and bump up the pressure level on our pressure canned items. Here are a couple other items to remember. Most canning recipes are going to tell you the process time or pressure for sea level. You need to add your adjustments yourself. Also, your time starts when your water bath canner comes to a rolling boil or when your pressure canner reaches the proper pressure level. Y'all, traditions can be wonderful, but they can be damaging. I am sure if you were able to ask your ancestors if they would prefer you keep doing a task the way they did it or utilize newer technology, if you can, they would tell you to work smarter, not harder. Save your pennies and go for a pressure canner. You don't need to get the most expensive model out there. I highly suggest the Presto 23 quart. It is economical and a fantastic canner. Plus it is a large pot, so it doubles as your water bath canner. What questions do you have? I am sure you will have them. I will continue with the safety behind canning in several articles because I believe in giving you all the information you need to decide for yourselves. Ask me in the comments, or if you're more comfortable, ask me in a direct message if you can. If I feel it is a topic others can benefit from, I will anonymously share the question. If you are ready to try some easy canning processes, here are a couple of links that I will share in the description of this video for you to start with.